The biggest Bitcoin breakout so far is about to be happening, and honestly, on all the time frames, you can see this exact consolidation, which I will be discussing in today's update video. And yes, whenever this pattern, which is one of the most common patterns that we tend to create in bull markets, is to be breaking out, we will be having a major continuation. And I'm gonna be exactly talking about that, about many other more important support and resistance lines, the most important charts and information about this exact cycle right now, and how we are likely going to be performing in the coming month of December. So I will be discussing everything and much more on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And yes, if I'm looking at Bitcoin on the imminent short term, there's not a lot of stuff happening, but really where we can start to see what Bitcoin is exactly doing right now is whenever we're going to be looking at the 4 hourly time frame, because we're creating a clear downward sloping resist line and a clear upward sloping Bitcoin support line. And that is ultimately the next consolidation which I am watching closely. I adjusted my trend lines ever so slightly, but I do that from time to time to, of course, get the best breakout performance. And honestly, if I'm looking at this chart right now, we have a lot of touch points on this exact downward sloping resist line that I do think that this is the pattern to be looking at right now here. And if we're looking at Bitcoin, we've just seen a major rally from $60,000 all the way up to $99,000. And now ever since we hit $99,000, we've started to see some consolidation. And this consolidation is very important to recognize correctly. So we've been in an uptrend. After the uptrend, we are still creating higher lows. And at the same time, we're creating some lower lows here on the top side. So basically, what we're seeing right now is somewhat of a squeeze of momentum in the price action of Bitcoin. And whenever we're going to be breaking this higher low structure, or whenever we're going to be breaking the lower high structure, that is the point where, of course, the next continuation is going to take place here. So if I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin, I'm going to be looking, of course, at this line here right here. That is the previous range high in the market, and this previous low in the market as well. If we break below or above any of these levels, that is the point where I expect, okay, now we're going to be seeing probably a major continuation towards the up or downside. So Bitcoin is still consolidating, and in all honesty, we are seeing on all the data points that this bull market is far from being over. It is only just getting started. All the data is pointing it out. And honestly, it is right now also Bullcember. And in 2020, we saw 44% up here, which was also in a halving year. And in 2016, Bitcoin was also up 30% here. And in the all the months that we were down, we were not down so badly. So honestly, in bull market / halving years, December is always one of the best performers out there, so why wouldn't it be this time around again here? So on the bigger perspective, we're basically seeing some slight consolidation for Bitcoin, which is not so bad here since we're trading above $95,000. Yesterday on the spot Bitcoin ETF, we saw about $350 million worth of inflows, and BlackRock was once again one of the largest buyers, buying more than $338 million worth of Bitcoin. So still, once again, guys, it is a new week, and once again, BlackRock is starting to be buying quite heavily. It is right now also clearly altcoin season from the altcoin season index. And if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance right now, we're starting to see a major breakout, which we have been exactly forecasting on this channel. So if you've been watching the channel for a while right now, congratulations, because with this breakdown on the Bitcoin dominance, we are making quite significant gains with our altcoin portfolio. And you can see the search term altcoins is going also quite exponential. So we can also start to see that retail is actually returning in the market right now here. And if we're going to compare 2024 anywhere towards 2016, it is also looking very similarly right now here. And for the Bitcoin dominance, we are also breaking this major uptrend we have been creating. So ultimately, that is a very bullish thing for Bitcoin. And yes, my price target is between $120,000 and potentially like 280K. It's a very big price target, but that is the point where I will be starting to scale out of the market. So more about that whenever we're going to be hitting those targets, because I'm going to exactly tell you my exit strategy as well here. Because yes, we can all buy Bitcoin, but the question is, when are you going to sell it? When are you going to sell your altcoin portfolio? That is, of course, the thing I will be going more in depth on, definitely in the near future. So also on the MVRV-Z score, we're starting to see that we're not even close towards the upside potential. So I do really believe that the bull market has got a lot of steam left here. And on the cycle perspective, guys, we are still at the beginning point of this major continuation. And that is ultimately one of the major reasons why I am so excited about Bitcoin and crypto right now here, because there's so much more to come here. And yeah, I mean, I've been saying it so many times here, but there are great trading opportunities right now in the market, and especially on altcoins. And if you want to be benefiting from these opportunities with leverage, check out Blofin in the link description of today's video, because if you want to be trading with large amounts of money as well, I prefer to do it on a non-KYC exchange. And if you want to be trading without any KYC, check out Blofin in the highest link description of today's video. You can sign up an account, get a $10,000 deposit bonus, which is completely withdrawable. And the most important part is, it is a non-KYC exchange, which has loads and loads of pairs listed, which are also extremely good in terms of liquidity. So very great exchange, and you should definitely check it out in the link description of today's video. Then talking a little bit more about altcoins, we're starting to see that, of course, the Bitcoin dominance is indeed breaking down here. And this is ultimately going to be leading towards a more bigger and wider altcoin season. And we can see, and we've learned from the past, whenever the Bitcoin dominance drops towards that region on the 40% here, that is where really altcoin season takes shape here. And more importantly, in that move towards the downside, that is where the biggest gains are realized. From like June 2021 all the way down right here, that is where the big gains were realized, from 60 to 40%, not necessarily at the bottom right here, because then all the money is already in altcoins and you want to be front running the rotation. And now the rotation looks like that altcoin season is indeed about to be starting, and that we are going to go down back towards that 40% region. And the Bitcoin dominance is indeed right now also in this part of the cycle where it tends to be performing very bad here, and where altcoins tend to be performing better. So in terms of risk and reward, it is definitely, in my opinion, worth it to be looking at altcoins right now here. And if I'm looking at the ETH against Bitcoin bear here, we can start to see that we are having a slight little reversal. And in the previous cycles as well, whenever we had that reversal, things can move very quickly, just like we had over here. We had Ethereum basically bleeding against Bitcoin the entire time. And then, of course, we had a slight little reversal, and Ethereum takes over the shine here. This is how it goes in every single bear market to bull market, and in every single cycle, basically, for Ethereum. So honestly, I do really think Ethereum is going to be doing great as well here, but it has just not shown its full potential yet here. We are starting to see that breakout on the ETH against Bitcoin pair here, which is ultimately one of the reasons why I do think it is going to be performing even better. So this is it for me in today's update video. If you learned something from it, don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.